Welcome back, brothers. I was recording, and for whatever reason, the last video that I did was deleted. Damn iMovie. But for the Patreon subscribers, I'm very happy that you are here. I'm very excited that I'm able to produce particular content for you. In today's topic, I want to talk about one day at a time. One day at a time. I know my subscribership typically is usually black, and I have people of other ethnicities who have aligned themselves with the message that we talk about as it resonates with them. But I'd like to point out, if I can, that one day at a time for progress. And the reason why this is imperative is because we live in a world where everything happens fast. Speed is important. Download speed is important. Fast internet is important. We like to have home deliveries to our house with food, and you can get supersized this and that, and you can get everything on a snap of a finger, as it seems. You can get dates on Tinder and things of this nature. Everything now is about speed. Back in the 80s or 90s, and if you wanted a date, you had to go out there and work for it. If you wanted a workout body, a great body, you had to go out and work for it. Now, you can get cosmetic surgeries and things, and you can alter your appearance, because people don't want to work for things. Now, I know that the majority of you who subscribe to me, if not all, you probably have some form of education or some form of skill that you use in the economy. You are doing great things, I'm sure, no doubt. But still, we live in the Western world where we expect things to happen fast for us. And the beautiful thing about life is you're going to have many times long road problems. When you set out to do something, typically what you're going to experience is more hurdles than success. Success is something that comes way at the end of the tunnel. But to keep that motor running as you're traveling through life, that's the one thing that determines who wins and who loses, is how consistent can you be? Can you keep doing the same thing every day, and regardless of whatever circumstances that you are going through? And one of the things that I think that black men and men in general, we have a problem, is that we like to compare ourselves to the progress of other people. And I can say that in my medical school, that since I've been here for the 2 years, I've been a decent student. I've had my good academic performances, absolutely, and also the bad ones. But what I can say is there are some students who outachieve me for specific many reasons. Some people may have performed better. They understand a concept better than me. They may have studied better. But I don't compare myself to them. I try to pick up what I can from people who are achieving good, and I try to intermix it into my particular thing. And also, I know that I'm the only one that operates a business here. I'm the only one that makes money here. And so I do have to take time to, pat myself on the back, and I'm just using myself for an example. I don't compare myself to what somebody's doing. Meaning, if it took me, for example, 1 year to pass the USMLE, that's okay with me, because I think one day at a time. That's how I look at evolving. One day. Because you will live life only one day at a time. Some people, you forget about the small progresses that you are making. You know, many of you have set out, let's say, to lose weight or to do certain things. And, you know, maybe you were 300 pounds and you got down to 290 and you look the same. And because you don't look different, and it may have taken you 3 months to do that, you want to give up. You know, you want to be discouraged, but you're putting in the right practices to achieve those results. And sometimes, you know, in life, it's funny like that. You're not going to get a big success. You know, it just doesn't work that way. And some days, and a lot of days, people will be able to do the same thing you're doing and beat you, and you can't get discouraged. Because when it is time for them might not be time for you. You know, you have to measure yourself on one parameter. And that parameter is, was I here last year that I am this year? Am I the same person? That's what you judge yourself based off your growth. And if the answer is, yes, I'm the same, now you have a problem. But if you have grown and made some advancements and strives in your life in the last year, then you wasn't last year. You've jumped in some way or form. You're making progress. And that is because every day you're trying to be better. And sometimes trying to be better don't mean that you show results always. Now, I can tell you that you're going to have days where nothing seems like it works. Nothing seems like it evolves. And that is, I got to do with how mentally tough you are. You know, I can tell you this. When I first started my YouTube channel this time last year, believe it or not, I had 2,000 subscribers. Nobody could have ever told me that I would, in a year, have 37,000 subscribers on one channel and 7,000 on another, and 69 Patreons that I will be giving this message to in 1 year in the Negro Manosphere blog. I could never guess that. I mean, last year and this year and the last 12 months have been explosive for me. Explosive. God couldn't have given me a better year all around. And I'm thankful for that. But what I can tell you is a year can change your life. But that year can't explode until sometimes you've been doing something for 2 years. You know, I tell you all the time, I had a YouTube channel that I didn't make one dime off for 19 months, but I kept, regularly posting videos on that channel. And then when the breakthrough came for me, happened in about a 6-month period, which leads us to where we are today. So between really about 8 months, between August and now is when I made a big jump. And now, like I said, you guys saw my vlog. I was able to go to, Budapest. I was able to do some things that I've never thought I could do. And even previously, before I came to Poland, I was trying to get into medical school for many years, 6 to 7 years. I was working and keeping my dream alive, and I'm a testimony of one day at a time. Some days you're going to get a lot of no's before you get a yes. And the yes is the only thing that counts, So in life, understand the fact that one day, every day, as you're moving through life in the toils and tortures that it may be, things are difficult, but every day you try to do better than the next day. And I'm talking to myself here, not just you, because there are things I need to improve on, things I can do better. And that's the important concept. One day at a time, brothers, one day. Improve every day, Get up a little bit earlier if you can, stay up a little bit later, and try to be as productive as you can be. And that's the story that I'm sticking to. And so I really want to let that resonate with you as an idea Don't get caught up on other people's successes and blaming yourself for not being as successful. Sometimes, when you get an idea that may want to work, whether it's a career you want to chase, a business, or anything like that, it's going to take time. You looking for time for things to happen. You need time to network, time to make friends, time to understand things, time to understand how things work, time to build relationships. Things do not happen overnight. And people who expect things to happen overnight are always chasing a quick scheme, getting rich quick or whatever, because they don't want to take the time to let things develop for them. They're too anxious. And so, brothers, you cannot be like that in life. I know many of you understand this, but sometimes you need to hear it again, because a lot of people, the information that I tell you, already have heard it. But sometimes it's good to hear it again. Sometimes you have setbacks, and that's okay. There's nothing in life without setbacks are going to happen. But if you can just stay, committed to what you're trying to do and stay focused on what you're trying to do, and you take it every day and set a goal for that day, I can guarantee you that your life will change forever. So thank you, brothers, for listening to the particular podcast. I'll be uploading on here tomorrow. Thank you for those who have been supporting. Those of you who'd like to get in contact with me on WhatsApp, just you can email me at planetoshay@gmail.com. I know there are a few people talking about they wanted to come to Poland, and you can definitely, if you want to get in contact with me that way, you can. So just email me at planetoshay@gmail if you have those questions, and I'll talk to you on WhatsApp for that. Thank you guys, appreciate you, and as you know, the buffoonery, it remains at an all-time high. I'm out. Peace.